Good morning. It's the 12th of March. This is Tim. Mr. Semi-Visible, believe me, I know people see me here because they say hello, unlike you lot. Anyway, you're taking a little walk up Donkey Lane today with me, once more. It's a seriously wet, kind of grey day. It's not raining yet. I imagine it will. Still in sunny England. Gonna do the celebration of Alan's life this Saturday. And then I'll be heading back to Portugal for a bit, and then I'll be back here, I don't know. But there's so many people that, what I had wanting to do, because Alan was known for, for many things. But there are honestly people that met him for the first time down on the beach, playing essentially football, but completely naked. He was, all his life he was one to, as were many of the freaks and hippies at the time, to get their kit off at any given opportunity. It gave me a compulsion to always keep my shorts on, to be honest. But I was going to say, right, Alan wanted to play naked football on the beach for his celebration of life, but unfortunately the age of many of the people wouldn't permit it, and the weather wouldn't either. So that's saved for later, when we put his ashes closer into the summer. So we're just going to do a get together, and that should be lovely. And today, as ever, just need to talk to you. I'll probably start huffing and puffing if I walk too fast, so I'm going to take it easy. Today, what kind of linked with me, and I think will be the name, is the mirror. Because as I mentioned the other day, we can be and are mirrors to each other in a lot of ways. If you're not careful, that mirror of another could be anger. And hey, we can all do that. We can mirror anger. We can mirror negativity. This gossip and the news, I think, proves that. And these are very powerful. But the truest mirror, the clearest mirror, wouldn't contemplate mirroring any of that for a second. But that mirroring, in a sense, is something so important in life. And I want to be that mirror. But I've got a mirror. I've got to learn. Got to clear my mirror to become a mirror of light and love. That is the truest language, if you like, of this entire creation. If it wasn't, we'd probably still be at the state of planets bashing together and forming moons and not many humans around. But we've been brought, watch this stream, to a very kind of, what would you call it? Almost, I'm still absolutely certain, I spend my days and nights with it, that we're at this point in our evolution. And that mirror between us will show us our unity, our oneness within. if we allow it. Oh, car coming. Gotta watch out on this road. And you know, I mean, I want to be that mirror, and I realise I've got to be careful, you know. Like the one I put up just a couple of days ago about Happy Women's Day. I didn't post that for a couple of days because I was a little bit concerned about being, in a sense, confrontational. And yet, I also need to show you my passion in this way. Now, as I take swipes, if you like, at what I think I don't like, am I just hurting myself? On a cosmic level, yeah, perhaps I am. But at the same time, if I was displaying some of those traits that I fight against, if I was displaying them, I would expect my good friends to point that out. My mum and Alan were fantastic in that way. But yes, it is completely live and let live. But you don't blatantly allow sexism, racism or violence in front of you. You stand up for it. You stand against it. So I must be careful. Because you know I get scared that I disconnect myself from the powers that be, if you like, if I show an attempt to control. That causes a delay. And that scares me. You know, I want to go with this flow. And I am learning to. I believe throughout my life I've very much been someone that is going with the flow. And then along comes something that you deem so important that you attempt to pursue it, you attempt to find it, only to be told you can't, and you can only find it within. I am, of course, talking about my personal biggest mirror, the wild bird. And what I've learned throughout this years now is, yes, in a sense we're mirroring each other. And yet there's a difference. The female energy operates at a higher, more aligned frequency. And the male energy starts off in the more denser, earthbound frequencies. Hence I've always felt her, in a sense, flying high above me. And have through this process attempted to connect with and understand those finer, more invisible forces and energies at play, which is where I am certain I will find my wild bird. And yet, you know, I wake up and I'm a person. I'm the little guy on this planet, feeling that I have such a giant mission, and yet convinced that I'm mirroring you. And so, on the vein of if I am mirroring you, then in your own girly way, you're feeling much the same. And what I'm feeling is I just miss you every day. I long and search for that direct communication, which I have offered you in the hope it would manifest. That direct communication certainly seems to be there, but not in the way I want it, in a way that's so much larger than life. It comes to me in the praise, in the certainty, in the knowledge of our connection. And yet, I got a feeling that truly you are so like me, and you've risen above many of the problems I may be facing. But you, in your turn, have your own problems, which at times only get magnified with more money and more responsibility. So I'm convinced in a way that this simple human connection, mirroring, is something there's a big part of you would like, and I would love to give it to you. And not with expectation, but just I want to make you, I want you to know how much I miss you. How much all day, every day you are in my consciousness. And that this mirroring could be so simple. And surely is some sort of part of moving forward, finding some clarity and some healing. This kind of, well, no, I do believe I've gone past the desperate stage. I've certainly been desperate, but I am mostly past that. But a grey day like today, and you just think, well, if she is truly mirroring, then I know what this will do for you. That it will put that smile back on your face. It will give you hope and certainty. And just my act of saying these words brings the same to me. And to be honest, the experiences with you over all the years, but over this last week, have given me more direct certainty than ever before. Because they were so wonderful. I mean, I can't go into details because I can't. But they gave me so much hope. And that's the mirror I want to be back to you. I want you to know how I see you and hear you. And that I am becoming ever more able, in a sense, to enter that place where I feel you exist and where I'm being drawn to. And yet, truly, I just want to see you. You know, like that. Is that so much to ask? What powers and what forces are keeping us apart, I have no idea. To ever trust in the divine plan. And along the journey, you realise you have no choice. That's surrender. And that certainty must come from within. Because we're dealing with a dream, a manifestation so large that it defies our mind. Hence, it is a transformation. And I just get so hopeful. And there's days, hours where I find myself struggling. Little word to the invisible people, you know. Got a chalet going, or you know, anyone wants to help me out here. I'm in more trouble than I bloody well realised. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep it. And trouble is, they've tied it up so blooming well, I can't even let it go. I'll have to pay the money and take the thing down and not receive anything. Truly are cheeky, clever buggers. But that beside the point. Any invisible partners, you want to go in on a really nice chalet, I tell you. If I'm correct about my future, this chalet is going to be worth a bit in the future. But at the same time, it's letting go. You know, I'm so prepared to let it go. If I could simply let it go, I would. But that isn't even on offer. And also, it's tough for me because I had loads like, oh goodness, over the years, 3 years ago and stuff, I had multiple experiences at this chalet that I haven't slept in since I was a kid. And I found myself in these experiences with my wild bird at the chalet as an adult, as now kind of thing. And so interpreting these things gets really hard. It's like, well, I'm supposed to hold on to it, but then I'm being told to just let go. Oh, goodness me. Anyway, bit of a distorted mirror there. You know, I want to be a mirror of hope. I want to be a mirror that lifts people, only and ever. I can be an angry mirror. I can be a right have a go at someone mirror. But it's never been my character. So I know that's not where I want to go and not what's being asked of me. So I must continue. I just showed you the old Donkey Lane. Oh, look at there, a bit of wildlife. The old Donkey Lane used to go down the side of that gate there. There's a little hidden lane there. And that was the original Donkey Lane. Back in the Second World War, when the American military kind of got here and installed for everything going on, they built the Cliff Roads. Cliff Road is called Military Road. And so they built this all during the war, and the chalets themselves were built for people to get out of Plymouth that was being bombed so much. So this whole place has had an amazing link to those historical days. There must have been, I mean, there was apparently dozens of pubs. I mean, goodness me, it was just full of young American soldiers, British soldiers. It would have been wild. And now it's all just hardly anyone. But to be that mirror, a mirror of hope. Not a mirror of always having a go at what this individual conceives as wrong. I might have to pause a minute, the wind's getting up. I'll pick you up in a sec as I'm walking down the bus. Just found a brief shelter from the wind. It's windy today. I used to get the school bus up here from like the age of, I don't know, 7, something like that. I used to get the school bus here. Now there's a bus stop. There was no bus stop back then. We used to wait in the most ridiculous weather for the bus, and I'd go to Anthony to go to school. And I remember that hedge there, me and a mate developed a thing of like, jump over that hedge and hide from the bus and have a day off school. Oh, and it was fantastic, I remember it so well. And that's it, we'd wait for the bus to go past, and then we'd just go down the beach all day and make fires and hang out. And I remember one day coming up to pretend to get off the bus, and I was up here waiting behind the hedge, and what happened was there was this way, the bus came and went, and then I climbed over the gate to kind of come home and pretend I've been to school for the day. And my mum was just walking up from the village, and she spotted me and she was like, "Oh, how did that happen? You came after the bus." So I thought I'd just share that with you, because it's about these little funny little memories. I'm still convinced I'm getting to know you. I'm getting to know someone, or someone's getting to know me. No one's told me yet. Anyway, on with the trip. It's proper rough today. Seagulls are having fun. It's coasting in the wind. To them, this is a playground. The rest of us, it's a muddy nightmare. These paths, got totally the wrong shoes for. You have to kind of watch out for the middle bit. Anyway, that mirror, the mirror that I'm convinced I am and will be to so many. If I have jeopardised, or if there are so many working against me that I will remain hidden in this way, then it appears that will be part of the surrender. But I will never stop fighting for what I am essentially convinced of, that I have a role to play here, and that the role is too important for me to not continue to do my bit, praying that it doesn't delay or stop the connection that I am experiencing. I've always been told that even in your darkest hour, I will not abandon you. And I have trusted that implicitly through my life. And yet it's never become more relevant than in these years. The process, the transformation I have embarked upon is supported, and I must align with it the connection I experience with so many that I call the invisible people, is starting to make more sense. Because many of the interactions I've had over these years have been with very close friends. A lot of my friends back here in Millbrook, I've had multiple interactions with them, if you like, where they look different. It's like, I've become convinced that it is we get glimpses of our higher selves interacting, or our multi-dimensional selves interacting. Some of the conversations I've had with some very close friends that I can kind of broach this subject with a little bit, I feel that is undoubtedly true. That some of my invisible people are actually my closest friends and family. That gives me hope, but I still don't know how to open up the discussion, if you like, fully. Anyway, back to my Wildbird mirror, because I want you to feel today that I guess I'm attempting to feel, and what you showed me in no uncertain terms in our last experiences together, which is an alignment, is a coming so close, so intimate, so acceptable. Just what I have in a sense prayed and longed for, you have shown me. And I want you to feel it from my point of view. In a sense, I seem to be working in denser vibrations still. And yet I want you to know that I'm there with you as well. I know the closeness and acceptance you showed me just 2 days ago and the day before that and stuff is completely acknowledged, reciprocated, in an attempt simply to get closer together. Ages ago I had that kind of dream where I untangled from you and got annoyed and went off, and Alan was there, and it literally felt like we had unentwined to a certain degree, which it left me funny. And then of course over these months it's almost like I have, where I've suddenly gone, right, I got to do this shit by myself. But I want to feel that entwining once more that you showed me just yesterday. I want to feel like we are some giant tree with the roots coming back together, that our leaves may touch. And I want you to feel that, because I'm utterly convinced that as long as I don't say the wrong thing, these little reach outs, these whispers, these steps bring me closer and bring a reciprocal experience that calms me in a way in the most beautiful way. And I want you to feel that. And I'll carry on in a minute.